As PKA Worldwide goes into phase two of our relaunch, I want to spend just a few minutes to invite our new and our veteran combat sports fans to take a meaningful walk with us down a 5-decade memory lane. How did we get here from there? This video will be joined by many more fight videos, but this footage is designed to lay out the milestones in the development of PKA kickboxing in America and around the world. With 5 decades of experience under our multiple Grandmasters black belts, we've identified 7 key milestones in 50 short years, which have led us to the world-class skills of incredible athletes in an even more incredible global sport, and a new generation of athletes who have come from karate, taekwondo, and kung fu, and now kickboxing and MMA, ready to take their rightful places in the brand new world of organized, well-funded combat sports with our iconic brand of fighting, PKA. It is a brand that evolved for 20 years and 1,000 hours of a petri dish on television, where we were not limited and we were allowed to change rules as they appeared to be more effective, both for the fighters and for the audiences, to become the most exciting brand of combat sports that we enjoy. Simply put, to us, PKA is to MMA what soccer is to football on a global basis. Both are great sports with great athletes. They're just different. Our brand mission is very simple. We want to give our striking athletes a new place to call home. We're on the hunt for the greatest strikers on the planet, and they will not kick each other in the legs, and they will not be grounding and pounded. They will do what they learned, everything that they learned in their incredible styles, and they will punch, kick, and repeat. That's what they'll do. Our combat sport was first known as full contact karate, and it was first presented for the very first time on ABC's Wide World of Entertainment on September 14, 1974 in the sold-out Los Angeles Sports Arena, where Joe Louis, Bill Wallace, Jeff Smith, and Isaiah Duenas won the very first world titles. This event was the brainchild of Joe Louis, and it was executed by Mike Anderson. I was a judge at the event, recovering from spinal surgery, and as it aired as a special on ABC, 52% of all the people watching television were glued to those fights at a time, believe it or not, where there were only 3 networks to choose from: ABC, CBS, and NBC. Burt Reynolds was hosting the Tonight Show that night at the same time on NBC. The rules had been put together in an interesting way at the time, and they reverted back to the original rules from the first professional boxing matches, where if a fighter was knocked down, he won the round and it was immediately over. That round was. You could only punch 3 times in a row in the new PKA rules without kicking, and if you punched 4 times in a row, you got penalized. The minimum kick rule had not yet been implemented. The fighters wore the Junri foam safety pads on their hands and feet, which were much more absorbing of the force than boxing gloves were. Telly Savalas, a big boxing fan who was the star of the ABC series Kojak, along with Ryan O'Neal, did the introductions for television, and then Telly Savalas and Mike Anderson did the fight analysis. You'll hear them on the upcoming video. Mexico's Isaiah Duenas won the world lightweight title on that night, and as you'll see in a minute, Bill Superfoot Wallace won the middleweight title, Jeff Smith the light heavyweight crown, and the inimitable Joe Louis was crowned the very first world PKA heavyweight champion. At that time, Joe Louis was the only fighter on the stage who had considerable boxing experience, but all the other super athletes immediately went into the boxing gyms, and the flat open stage that they fought on in this night were replaced in the next 18 months with boxing rings, and their new boxing skills, and their hands could fly. You will see that in our second milestone, where Bill Wallace and I had learned to box, which I had started to do a couple of years earlier, and Jeff Smith had joined us in Atlanta on a regular basis, and you will see how great his hand skills were just 13 months after he won his light heavyweight karate title. He went on to win the Don King version of the heavyweight championship in 11 rounds on the undercard of the Thriller in Manila, defeating a hand-picked Don King protege who King wanted to be his Muhammad Ali of boxing. Jeff Smith spoiled that plan on that night that Ali Frazier 3 took place. Our first 10 years, that would be 1974 to 1984, had milestones in the LA Sports Arena, 1974, in the Omni at the Battle of Atlanta 6th on May 1975, and with Jeff Smith on the Thrill in Manila in October 1975. And then the Bill Wallace retirement fight 6 years after his start, retiring undefeated at 23-0, as I did the commentary live on CBS, as I had done for all of his fights since 1977. The next milestone was the 1986 at Karate Mania 1. It was at the Battle of Atlanta 17, where a phenomenal thunder and ice bout between Jean-Yves Theriot and Bob Thunder Thurman and Atlanta's Jerry Rome KO'd Brad Hefton in a surprise to the world. And Golden Boy Jerry Trimble captured the light welterweight title, and a young man named Rick Rufus set the world on fire with his kicking skills, setting the stage for future Karate Mania events leading to Karate Mania 8, as he was a 29-year-old Rick Rufus gave 39-year-old Jean-Yves Theriot live on pay-per-view a great match. That was our 7th milestone that set the stage of where we will be now in this exciting, well-funded, well-organized combat sports world. That Karate Mania 8 would be the milestone that took place just as MMA was started by its original founders, some years before Dana White and the Fertitta brothers got involved. And this Karate Mania 8 is the model around which PKA Worldwide will be structured. Enjoy this start at our library here on our new website and look for many more great fights and fighters to join the action. Check back with us on a regular basis and reach out to us with any questions or suggestions. And please feel free to leave your comments here. We take you now out to the Los Angeles Sports Arena to ABC's Wide World of Entertainment. The date is September 14, 1974. Enjoy.
About to battle for the light heavyweight world professional championships. Okay, Telly, here we go. Wally Slokey wearing the white glove on our left and dark pants. Jeff Smith wearing the Stars and Stripes pants and the red gloves. Jeff Smith from Washington, D.C. Winner of the Bruce Lee Trophy for Fighter of the Year. Wally Slokey, the Canadian champion. Grand champion of Canada for 3 years. And as predicted, the karate fans predicted it would come down to these two. And Slokey's surprisingly strong. Kick to the back of the head by Smith. A lot of punching. I expected more kicking out of these two boys. I thought we'd see more kicking. Let's watch Jeff Smith. I think he's going to unleash one any second now. Smith is a strong kicker, and he can send them flying if he lands one of those powerful kicks of his. That kick was kind of a push. Ooh, that spinning back kick, when they spin and turn like that, Ellie, that's the most dangerous kick in karate. And if one of those landed solid, well, without those rubber shoes, it would be fatal. He tried for a scissor takedown. Beautiful kick. Smith scored a beautiful front kick to the head. Wait a minute, I take it back. He did not, Jeff Smith did not take him down. He fell down. He fell down, and the referee already said stop. They only have 1 second to execute that. They only have 1 second to execute that.
The kick came after 1 second, is that it?
That's right. When they throw the man down on the ground, they have 1 second to follow up and get it. 1 second from the time his back hits the floor, that is. You see, he was on the ground for about 3 or 4 seconds before Smith kicked him in the face. So it's a wonder Smith wasn't given a penalty point for that.
Maybe that's what happened.
That's it. No, it didn't. The official didn't say stop in time. So neither fighter was penalized one way or the other. So it's even Steven right now.
Well, you fellas got these cute names for kicks to the head and one to the groin, I'll tell you that.
Right. It's against the rules to kick to the groin here. Although they do wear, they're very protected in the groin area, just in case. But they're not allowed to do it. If they do it, they'll get out. Left hand by Smith. They got him. He's saved. Wally Slokey is out. They got him with a left rich hand to the face, and then a kick to the head. He's dazed, but he's okay. That gives a penalty point because he just went out of bounds. He didn't go down.
I see.
He just went out of bounds, so he gets a penalty point assessed against him. Slokey takes him down. He missed. See, he punched him. He missed him. Slokey would have won the round If he hit him, yes, but he missed him. The punch went by his head. So it's still just, no one's won the round yet.
And 8 seconds to
We're
go.
down to 8 seconds, right? 5. I think the round will be over.
30 seconds remain in the first round.
Your mother's here and your manager still loves you. Don't get sloppy, Jeff.
Less than 15 seconds in the first round.
Don't let out.
Okay.
Seems to me like time's run out.
No, the official timekeeper, that's just the stadium clock. The official time is still going. Oh, another clasher. No one landing anything solid. That's the end of round one. That's the end of round one. The fans, Wally Slokey. The fans love it. Unanimous. Wins the first round, Kelly. It looks like Jeff Smith won the round. And the round two. Maybe Slokey has this one. Let's see. Maybe Slokey has it. Getting a second off the stage, and we will vote. Unanimously for Slokey. Wins the second round. One apiece. The next round will determine the victor. Okay, Telly, let's take a look at the replay here. Slokey sweeps him down, boom, punch to the face, and missed him, kick. There we go. And they're going to come out. Let them go, Telly. I have a feeling they're going to really go at it now. They have to. There's no choice. This is for the light heavyweight championship of the world. And watch them go. Kick missing. Here's where conditioning pays off. Wheel kick was blocked. Let's see if Smith will try to pull a real hard wheel kick.
But that kid from Canada looks like he was fighting bulls there in spades. He's a tough one.
Yeah, he is tough. He is tough. He's very determined. He's where nerve and raw courage is concerned, Slokey's #1 for sure. He wanted to win this one real bad. As a matter of fact, Telly, he retired from competition a year ago and came back now that we have full contact professional fighting. The non-contact version of fighting just didn't interest him at all. It's very hard to determine a oh, that's a scissor. Scissor takedown. Did he do it? They're both kicking each other. Well, they tried a flying scissors. Let's see what they say. Let's see if he did it. Nothing. Blocked on the arm. Blocked on the arm. The fans don't like it. Let's see what it is here. Jim Harrison may be getting ready to disqualify Wally Slokey. Let's see what the decision is. They are not allowed, Telly, in karate. This goes back to talking about the discipline.
See what's happening in the ring.
They are not allowed to display any unsportsmanlike conduct. If they do, they'll be disqualified.
I see.
Sportsmanship is a must in karate competition, and Wally Slokey is not displaying very good sportsmanship, I think. Of course, he felt he had a bad call, but
What you call that sportsmanlike?
yes.
I would have been a little disappointed too if I thought I had a win.
Yeah, I think Slokey thought he had to put away there, but the kick, he scissored him down to the ground.
Yeah.
Tried to kick him, but he kicked him on the arms,
Yeah.
as we can see on our camera. This is it, but Slokey's the leading in this round now. Slokey's leading. That was sure, that was a very. I think. Oh, Smith, here we go.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Let's see who went out first. They both went out at the same time. Nothing. Jeff Smith is turning on now. He knows he's behind, Kelly. He knows he's behind in this round. I think Slokey's a little dazed.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes, he is.
He's dazed. That's one warning against Jeff Smith. one warning against penalty point. He was giving a penalty point a while ago for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what the decision was before. Smith just got a, now Smokey got a warning. I mean, Smith got a warning for punching more than 3 times in a row. Next man to go out loses. Let's see if Smokey can hang in there. This is going to be a tough decision.
Remaining in the match.
Tough decision.
Light heavyweight world championship on the line.
They're tired. Yeah, let's see what happens. It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Beautiful long kick by Smith.
It may come down to a decision. It will be a tough decision.
That's it. The third and final round. Light heavyweight championship.
All yours, baby. Going to have to leave.
The winner and new light heavyweight champion of the world.
Smokey did much like the call. He felt he had it, but as you can see, Telly, in the end there, Smith came on pretty strong. Tough decision. I wouldn't want to be in the official shoes. I really wouldn't.
The heavyweight division, the big boys. Now you tell us a little bit about them. The name.
Of course, his opponent, Mr. Joe Louis, has never, here he comes, never been defeated in contact competition. He is a favorite here, and he's the man the fans came out to see. Joe Louis, who has been acting for the last 2 years, and he has terminated his acting career briefly in order to fight in professional karate competition. That was a left rich hand to the face.
Yeah.
Joe Louis winning the first round.
Joe Louis, winner of the first round by knockdown. He's up, but Louis wins the round by knockdown. That was over. He's hanging in there.
Sure is.
Brodeur is a very determined fighter. He won the European Heavyweight Championship, and he is not even remotely afraid of Joe Louis, as most people thought he would be. Oh, there's a kick to the head, but just slight. Just slight. He just touched him. There's a ridge hand. I think that maybe it hurt him. No, it didn't hurt him. It didn't hurt him.
Oh, it hurt him, but he's still standing up.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you these things don't hurt.
I'll tell you what, these kicks Louis is throwing really hurt. He's taking some powerful blows on the arm there, but it takes it out of a man. It really does, to block these very powerful kicks. Louis is being very cool here, and Brodeur is surprisingly cool. He kind of pulled that kick. Uh-oh, that was a rich hand. He went down, and Louis kicked him in the shoulder.
Yeah, he
2.
got the back at the last minute.
Yeah, he did. 3. That rich hand got him. 4. Yeah. 5. It's over. Winner and heavyweight champion. Second round. Joe Louis from the United States. Okay, Jimmy, let's see the replay on it. Here's the left rich hand right on the forehead. Now, that has knocked him out. He's out on his feet right now. Now he falls down. This kick is on the shoulder. He's already out. Winner and heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Joe Louis from Hollywood, California.
Bill Wallace is one of the greatest kickers of all time. You watch that left leg and left hand of Bill Wallace. He uses that leg so quickly. He'll 3 or 4 or 5 kick from one side of the hip and back to the other side. Never have to drop the leg. He is a brilliant, brilliant fighter.
Well, look at the people in that corner. Chuck Norris, Joe Louis, and Mike Stone, all world champions.
Right, every one of them former professional champion, legendary, a real unbelievable corner.
Well, Kelly, that ends it. The first World Professional Karate Championships, which has been dedicated to the late great martial artist, Mr. Bruce Lee.
So as I was watching the great action of Bill Wallace against his opponents there in LA in the LA Sports Arena, I had a small voice whisper in my head that I would like to do this against him in our Battle of Atlanta 8 months from now. I did not say anything right away, and I trained for the next few months convalescing from my spinal fusion surgery. And then I made a formal challenge that Bill accepted, and we met in the Omni in Atlanta at our Battle of Atlanta 6, May 3rd, 1975, in front of 10,000 of our closest friends, and each of us prepared for a 9-round battle. The rules were still, if there was a knockdown, then the round would end, but Bill and I fought 9 rounds on that night, and it was easy to see that the athletes had made some great strides in the boxing world from the first event just, 8 months earlier. Sadly, the then heads of the organization did not invest any money at all in the video, so all that we have to remember it by are Super 8 films, if you're old enough to know what that is. Since Bill retired undefeated, as you can imagine, I did not win the fight, but we fought 9 good rounds, and I would later be chosen by CBS to cover all of Bill's title fights, so I got to be part of the Bill Wallace action vicariously from then on. Pardon this Super 8, but we share here a little bit of the action, as Bill and I were the very first people to fight 9 rounds here in Atlanta's Omni.
And here's Kareem Allah coming to the ring. Tell us a little bit about Kareem Allah, Mike.
Kareem Allah is a martial artist, a traditional martial artist. He's one of the prominent teachers, really, in the United States. As a matter of fact, a young man named Kevin Thompson, who they call K.A., short for Kareem Allah #1, went on to become the world champion.
That's right. Kareem Allah, the instructor of little K.A., Kevin Thompson. I was actually on the team in 1990 in Venice, Italy, where Jeff Smith was the coach, and little K.A. was there also on the team. And there was a lot of talk about this fight during that time, and it was 15 years later at the time. It's interesting, Jeff Smith has had many of the most historic bouts in all of kickboxing. Some of the most memorable fights ever have come from Jeff Smith, including his 2 historic bouts with Wally Slokey, and of course his very controversial only loss versus Dan Macaruso. And of course this fight is probably the jewel in the crown of his great fight history.
Yeah, Jeff was undefeated at this time, and he went for several years being undefeated. I'm not really familiar with his ultimate loss. We see over there the official is Dr. Mwangi, who is still active today. And
that's right, he is the senior mentor for the Joe Louis organization, and he's the man who brought Burmese Bando to the United States. You see him on the right side of your screen. He is the center referee, an amazing martial artist in his own right. I see him at the Joe Louis conference every year, and he's pushing 80 years old, and he's absolutely amazing the way the guy moves. And he's just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, I was mentioning before about Kareem Allah having a traditional martial arts background, which he does, but he also has a background as a boxer. And this is what actually qualified him for the fight, his boxing and his overall martial arts and boxing prowess.
That's right. This should be known that he was actually handled by Don King at the time, and this fight was set up actually to showcase Kareem Allah.
Yes, it was. This was put together by Don King's people, and this, of course, is a Don King production.
He's a tremendously talented martial artist, as you'll see. And it's a great matchup. Jeff Smith in the gray and green with the green stripe, and Kareem Allah with the red pants and the red belt on, and the yellow, I guess those are Junri karate chops, correct?
Yes, they're wearing, back in those days, we wore the rubber gloves, which of course nowadays boxing gloves are used in place of the rubber gloves. Jeff Smith is, you're going to see a very powerful fighter in Jeff Smith. He's one of my favorites. He's a very, very powerful kicker and a powerful puncher. And stamina is his middle name. This man is not going to get tired.
That's right. I've seen just about every one of Jeff Smith's fights, and he had many fights that went well into the later rounds. And as we'll see, his conditioning is absolutely impeccable. He has always been known for having his legs underneath him and being very agile and in control well into the later rounds, and this fight is a showcase of that conditioning. And here we are with round 1.
As you can see, Jeff Smith's giving up quite a bit of weight here. He's giving up about 10 pounds to Kareem Allah. As Jeff filling him out with his famous kicks.
That's right, Jeff Smith starting off left side in front. He's moving a lot. Kareem Allah with our powerful right round kick and a 1-2 combination, followed up with a jab. Jeff Smith with his own left roundhouse kick. Notice Jeff Smith starting off with his left side in front, as he mentioned earlier. He has a cut on the front eye, and at this point he's now switched to southpaw. He's got his right side in front. We do seem to be feeling each other out. Jeff Smith with a back leg round kick.
You're going to see a very different Jeff Smith here in this fight, as his right eye was recently cut and is really not completely healed. So he's going to have to he's going to have to favor that all the way through the fight. He's not going to be able to take a hard shot on that, otherwise that cut will open up.
So he's got his right side in front, with going with a lead-off straight left. Kareem Allah with a back leg roundhouse kick. Seems to miss. Jeff Smith moves away.
You can see Jeff trying to set him up for one of those really powerful back leg roundhouse kicks that he throws, followed by an onslaught with the hands. Jeff is known as a very aggressive fighter and a very powerful fighter.
Solid front kick, seems to have scored. They both seem to be kind of
There's a left landed by Smith.
Nice combination from Kareem Allah. Seems to have been taking on the gloves. Jeff Smith with a front kick. Kareem Allah returned with a left jab.
I was pretty impressed with Kareem Allah. Actually, pretty impressed with him taking this fight. And he's a real cocky guy, and as you can see, he's fighting with quite a bit of confidence, which says a lot for the man, as Jeff Smith is known as one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet.
As the bell rings for the 11th round.
Got to give a lot of credit to Kareem Allah. He came in here and took on the best fighter in the world at that weight class. And it's a pretty brave thing to do.
Well,
and he's hanging in there, and he's made it all the way through to the 11th round. I don't think that the pundits expected that. Most of the insiders expect an early knockout for Jeff Smith. And Kareem Allah is still in there fighting in the 11th
Solid
round.
side kick gets Jeff Smith off balance, and Kareem Allah steps in with a 1-2 to Jeff Smith's head.
He's got to knock him out. That's the only way Kareem Allah can win at this point. Congratulations to Kareem Allah
Nice
for going 11 rounds with one of the most dangerous fighters on the planet.
Jeff Smith moving. Kareem Allah still continuing to pressure the fight, even in the 11th round. This man is truly a warrior. He has got a huge heart. He's still firing, continuing to try to corral Jeff Smith as Jeff Smith continues to move with amazing conditioning. Great.
He's just as fresh now as he was in the first round, as you can see. He's still bouncing around, moving, not giving Kareem Allah a target. I guess he's just coasting to the end.
Tremendous footwork, truly floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee, a la Muhammad Ali, and just remarkable. Oh, hard straight left. Once again, timing Kareem Allah coming towards him, hitting him with a straight left as he comes in, and then covering up to block Kareem Allah's shots, and a spin back fist there near the end.
Yeah. See, Jeff's still trying to knock him out, so.
Kareem Allah still continues to pressure.
Getting close to the end of the fight now. And there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, 11 hard round championship fight on the undercard of the Thrilla in Manila 1975, with the champ Jeff Smith taking on the inimitable Kareem Allah. And this was live from Washington, D.C. The first fight on the undercard of the Thrilla Manila in 1975. The ring announcer, of course, are my co-announcer, Mike Anderson. And Kareem Allah was handled, of course, by Don King. And this was actually supposed to be a showcase for Kareem Allah. And again, I have tremendous respect for somebody who, in a situation like this, does not get a walkover fighter, but he actually goes out and gets the toughest fighter he could find to fight. And my hat's off to Kareem Allah.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. He didn't go out looking for tombstones in his first fight. He decided to fight the toughest man on the planet in that particular weight class.
And as we see now, Bob Wall was the co-ring announcer with you, as we just had him in the screen there. Bob Wall, of course, from Enter the Dragon fame, and more than one Bruce Lee movie he starred in. The actual announcers for the broadcast, who was actually doing the blow-by-blow in color?
I was doing the blow-by-blow, and Bob Wall was doing the color.
You can see in the lower left-hand corner, Bob Wall, as Asa Gordon tends to Jeff Smith's eye. And he gets congratulations from Jerry Rome.
for 7, scheduled 9-rounder, but nobody thinks it will go that far.
Oh, the stopper seems to be out now. Both men deciding they're going to let it go. Horsley now chasing Wilson. Wilson throwing a hard shot. Horsley putting the pressure on. Center referee Bill Clark breaking them. What an opening for the round. Jimmy Horsley trying to call time for some reason, being counted out by center referee Bill Clark.
Fight's over.
Fight's over. Jimmy Horsley seemed to have injured his leg somehow. Leg hurt, his knee hurt somehow. I don't know exactly what happened. Don Wilson just going crazy. Don't know exactly what happened then. Have to go back and take a look at that to see just exactly what did happen to his leg. Yeah, both men had each other going at different points in the fight. Then strangely in the 7th round, Jimmy Horsley stopped and we really didn't know what happened. The word from the dressing room is that earlier in the fight he caught his ankle and twisted it, and it got worse and worse as the round went on. He kicked Don Wilson on the elbow a couple of times, and then his ankle just wouldn't support his weight anymore, so he just couldn't continue because he was going to be having to throw the kicks with it, and so he felt it better to stop.
Indiana, scheduled 12-rounder for the World Middleweight Championship of the World. PKA, full contact karate. And the superstar of our competition, Bill Superfoot Wallace, coming into this arena in Anderson, Indiana. This man is 21-0, the defending world champion. Let's watch him in action. Wallace is labeled Superfoot. The reason? A devastating left leg, which has been clocked in excess of 60 miles per hour. But this world middleweight champion has also developed a devastating left hook, as evidenced in this title fight against Pat Worley when he took Worley out in the 1st round. Robert Biggs has a different style that could give Wallace a lot of trouble. I asked him if he had different training tactics for this fight.
Yeah, I usually run maybe 2.5 miles, but I've been running like 5 miles a day. Been doing between 20 and 24 rounds, a lot of kicking, a lot of hand techniques, and been eating a lot of hamburgers. I'm really greasing up for this one.
Bill, this bout has been labeled as your final bout, that you are in fact going to retire.
Well, I'm old. I'm almost 35 years old, so I don't heal like I used to. And a lot of young kids coming up being able to hit real hard and just as quick as I am. So I want to be remembered as doing something that I was the best at. So they usually have a tendency to remember you for the last thing you did, and I don't want to go out a loser.
And here's the challenger, Robert Biggs, 29 years old from St. Louis, Missouri. I asked him what he's going to have to watch out for against Wallace.
His left leg and his left arm. If we could tie those two together, I'd have it made.
He kicks at 60 miles an hour, they say.
Right. It looks like it.
What's that feel like?
I haven't been hit yet, but I'll let you know later on.
Our expert analyst for this World Middleweight Championship is Joe Corley, who fought Superfoot Wallace in 1975 for the title bout. Now, very quickly, what are some of the rules that we're going to have to really look at as we start the fight?
Well, as you know, both fighters can punch and kick. Each fighter will have to throw 8 kicks per round, and they all have to be above the belt.
And we might indicate that this foot pad is very instrumental in the fight.
That's right. The foot pad weighs about 4 ounces. It covers the top of the foot, not the bottom of the foot.
And so we're going to be back for Bill Superfoot Wallace's final bout. Let's look back at round 11. The left foot of Bill Wallace, but watch Biggs.
Biggs comes behind there with a good right hand, catches Wallace on the right side.
All right, the final 2 minutes, round 12. For all the marbles, there's Wallace. The big hug, and he'd like to wrap it up here and remain unbeaten in his career. It's the last time we're going to see Superfoot Wallace.
Robert Biggs better get real serious for these last 2 minutes, or I think his challenge is likely going to go by the boards.
And so Wallace, his last round ever, He'd like to finish out an impressive style, the little grin bind, but he's got to just win this fight. He's going to be worried about, right now, finishing strongly as Biggs is in striking distance.
Wallace, a tremendous athlete. The last 2 minutes of his career, I imagine he won't let down. Slightly staggered Biggs with that left hook. Biggs a little off balance when it landed.
There's Biggs using the kicks a little more. He's been more effective with them. They're immediately above us. In this last round, good left.
Right left by Wallace on the ropes. Good combination. Once again, Biggs letting him out. Wallace countering with a hard left hook. Good right hand by Biggs. Wallace, I don't think, is in trouble. He should try to fight his way off the ropes the way he did before.
Now Biggs coming back at him. Tremendously conditioned athlete.
Good combination, Biggs. Left, right in the rope.
This crowd, excellent crowd enjoying this. The final round of Bill Wallace's career. You see the time remaining.
That's the kind of Donnybrook that Biggs would have had, or should have had, I should say, Wallace in the whole fight to take it. Wallace has been smart. He stayed away. Biggs has let him dominate the distance, let him dominate the techniques.
Biggs trying to set him up on the ropes, but he doesn't have any time left. And Wallace with a flurry at the bell. We'll be back with a decision in just a moment. We're ready now for the announcement of the decision in this World Middleweight Championship bout.
Okay, here we go. They're going to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the decision momentarily.
Well, we're waiting now while the judges compile their scores. As we said throughout the fight, there was about 1 point difference separating the two of them at the very end. And Bill Superfoot Wallace, has he been named as the champion? He has been. Wallace. Bill. Well, you did it, partner.
Oh, it's hot out here. Hey, no wonder you're champion all the time, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bill, anything surprise you?
That son of a gun hits awful damn hard.
You really were effective with your left leg again. That seemed to keep him. He kept relentlessly coming after you, but you kept him away.
Well, that's my bread and butter, and if I'm going to go out big, I'm going to go out with that.
What about this fight? Any particular point you think it turned around for you?
Well, I thought I started off pretty good. You know, I was just going to go out there and for 12 rounds kick. You know, if he got close, I was going to try to punch him back and kick him. And he's easy to hit in the head with a kick, but he hits awful damn hard. But I'm glad I'm getting old and these guys are taking over now.
Okay, everybody should be as old. Bill, this is it, though.
Yes,
this is your retirement. I've heard this before now. This is
it.
it.
I had my dinner last night and it was chicken. If it would have been hamburgers, I would have thought about it. But it was chicken, so I'm not thinking about it.
But how does this, what does this fit into your future plans now? What are you going to do from here on?
Well, I'm still going to go around doing seminars and do exhibitions and exhibition fights and things. Because, number one, I'm a karate man. I'll always be a karate man. If I do a movie, fine. But I love the art, and it's basically me.
I want to tell you something. This game has loved you. You've really been a credit to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bill Superfoot Wallace, who once again has held on very successfully to the World Middleweight Championship, retiring undefeated. For Joe Corley, this is Gary Bender saying so long from Anderson, Indiana.
From WSB-TV Atlanta, Georgia's news leader, Jim Schumer with the news at noon. This is Channel 2's Action News.
Scientists say the volcano in Alaska may be ready to blow its top. We'll have that story. We'll show you a most unusual houseboat. And if you're wondering why the news came on at 11 today, you probably forgot to set your clock 1 hour forward for daylight savings time. Good Island. Coming up next, Ernie Johnson with the sports. He'll tell us about a couple local fighters who are champions today. Stay with us.
At the Omni last night for two Atlanta fighters. Karate Mania at the Omni with 3 titles on the line. Jerry Rome and Jerry Trimble of Atlanta picked up 2 of them. In the heavyweight title fight, Rome in the red against champion Brad Hefton. Rome, coming back from a severe eye injury several years ago, now fighting for the title, and he ended it in the 7th round. Watch his right hand, Jimmy. Check it out. The right hand coming up. This has to hurt. Oh, there he goes. Right on the button. Down and out is Hefton. Jerry Rome, the new heavyweight champion. Now in the light welterweight title fight, you had Jerry Golden Boy Trimble taking on the champion Leroy Taylor. 7th round here also. The two are going to butt heads during this exchange in the corner. Taylor got a nasty cut around the eye. The referee took a look at it and said, let's stop this for a minute. He wanted to see the replay and see how it happened. He decided it was accidental. He stopped the fight, and by split decision, it's Jerry Trimble with the title. In the other fight, Jean-Yves Theriault retained his middleweight crown against Bob Thunder Thurman. Karate Mania at the Omni. In Marietta Saturday.
All you say, it's one of those days when the ball just starts bouncing.
It was a laugher, and the joke was on the Atlanta Hawks. Do they have a prayer of gaining a split in the Garden? Jeff Hollinger is back from Boston with the story. Bo is 1, Tony is 2. Who is next? We haven't a clue. A preview of the NFL Draft with Falcons head coach Dan Henning. Plus, the red beats the black, and Jerry's got the knack. We're happening, and we're live. Keep it here on TV5.
Saturday night at the Omni, a little Karate Mania. PKA heavyweight champ Bad Brad Hefton in the blue pants against the challenger Jerry Rome in the red. Rome! Oh! Backs away. Hefton walks right into that straight right. He's down and out. Jerry Rome as the new champ. His comeback after a detached retina is complete. Congratulations. And about 10,000 folks saw it. And there is no truth at all to the rumor that Rita Jennerette will be filling in for me tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
I hope not.
We are done for tonight. I hope you had a good weekend, and we'll see you all this week on Eyewitness News at 6 and 11. I'm Jeff.
Heavyweight champion Rick Rufus, world super middleweight champion Jean-Yves Theriault.
Heavyweight championship is going nowhere. It's staying around my belt.
You can plainly tell that the war of words has now started officially.
On Saturday, March 26th, the sport of PKA Full Contact Karate will present to the sports world the biggest and most important fight night in the 1,000-year history of karate. 6 world champions will meet in 3 unification bouts at PKA Karate Mania 8, The Brawl in Montreal. Tonight, you'll meet the 6 world kickboxing champions who put it all on the line as they meet in the PKA Squared Circle. As PKA Karate, the kick of the 90s, presents Countdown to the Showdown. Your host is the voice of Full Contact Karate.
Hello everyone and welcome to Countdown to the Showdown. I'm Joe Corley and I'm pleased to bring you this PKA special presentation. Now the Showdown itself actually comes to you live on pay-per-view Saturday, March 26th from SET pay-per-view, and a fight night that I've anticipated for the past 8 years. Now if you're a fight fan who's followed all the big-time boxing matches over the years like I have, This is one of those incredible sports nights you cannot afford to miss. And if you're one of the millions of loyal PKA fans who follow this great sport of ours with me since its inception in 1974, you're already pumped with prospects of a spectacular night. Now tonight, you'll meet 6 of the most dangerous men who walk the planet. And on March 26, after all of them go in the ring, only 3 of them can leave victorious. And as you'll see tonight, these 6 world champions put it all together to bring you one of the great fight cards of all time. The 2 men at the top of this triple main event have waited 8 long years to get it on, and now it's finally happening as world super middleweight champion Jean-Yves Theriault, the Iceman, meets the Jet, Rick Rufus, for his PKC World Light Heavyweight crown.
The definition of a legend is a popular myth of recent origin. Canadian followers of the sport of kickboxing will attest to the fact that legendary world champion Jean-Yves Theriault is very popular, but he most definitely is no myth. The ice-cold stare of Theriault has earned him the nickname Iceman. And prior to each of his battles, opponents are warned to beware, for the Iceman cometh.
There's a hard right hand. Narvaez is hurt. He's going down.
And he's fighting as though his whole future depends on it. The left hook, and down he goes.
There was a time where the big change. My state of mind becomes I become very focused and maybe even deadly in my approach.
And he is, I would think probably, oh, look at that kick to the hip of Larry Poor, and he is down right below us.
Terrific left hand, very short, lots of power, another right hand. Right hand across the nose, great uppercut, another uppercut, Furman is out.
The Iceman is not very nice. It's, you know, very arrogant, very methodical, and not sociable at all.
Unlike Eugene O'Neill's character, this Iceman wrecks opponents, not homes.
Well, basically, I started karate when I was 4 years old, and it was something like ice cream. I never got enough of it. I went through the ranks of mini Pee Wee Junior, and won all national titles. When I first started, I always told my peers when I was 9 years old, yeah, I'm going to be the champion of the world.
After turning pro in 1984 at the age of 18, Rick the Jet Rufus eagerly began his quest to fulfill his prophecy. In only his 5th pro fight, the Jet soared past #1 super middleweight contender Gerald Murphy by unanimous decision. Rufus continued his assault on the championship, leaving a path of destruction in his wake.
Right now, youngster.
In April of 1987, the dream became reality as Rufus knocked out John Moncayo for the Kick World Super Middleweight title.
World champion, Rick the Jet Rufus.
During the next 2 years, the newly crowned champion defended his title 14 times, knocking out 9 of his opponents. Suddenly, without warning, the Jet veered off course, losing his world title by unanimous decision to Marek Piotrowski in Chicago, Illinois.
In 1989, I lost to Merrick in a unanimous decision. At that time, I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened in my life. For 6 months, I walked around probably with my head between my legs and didn't know what I was doing, where I was going. I had to let down myself, and you know, for 2 years, it took me to get a title shot back at Merrick. And when it happened in '91, it was night and day. He paid for it every waking moment that I had to wait for that title.
In their second meeting, the Jet attacked Piotrowski, leaving only burning wreckage behind. Once again, the Jet was soaring in the rare air of a champion and continued to dispatch his opponents seemingly at will. It was time to aim at new and loftier horizons. The Iceman, Jean-Yves Theriault, the Canadian-born kickboxing legend, who has amassed an incredible record of 68-5-1 with 60 knockouts, now appears on the Jet's radar screen.
Getting to fight Jean-Yves Theriault in March in Montreal is probably the biggest opportunity in kickboxing I will ever have. This is the moment that I've been waiting for. This is why I've taken my first karate lesson. This sport here, this fight here will not only bring me notoriety, but it will also gain me a lot of worldwide recognition.
I'm really excited for this fight. I've been, hearing this young man, tell everybody that he's dreamed of meeting me and retiring me and melting me and everything else, and that certainly it tickles me.
I'm going to break him. I'm going to retire him for good. And John Eves is done. He's done.
I'm going to, hold steadfast to this. Nobody's going to retire me.
Terrio was, no question, a legend in his own in his time. But his time has passed. I'm sorry.
This is an interesting. You see the left hand, and then a good combination. McDonald's down.
What a beautiful right kick.
Oh, the combination set it up for the kick, and McDonald is down, and he's out.
Over.
A first-round knockout by Rick the Jet Rufus of Mike McDonald.
That was a beautiful, beautiful combination.
And Rufus is taunting Terrio. He seems to want a piece of him right now.
All right. Sure.
You're next. You're next.
Sure.
I want you.
Of course. Look at this.
Get used to it.
Sure. Come on. Sure, come on.
Get used to taking a bite off Jericho.
That's good. Come on. I'm here for you, baby.
Well, you can plainly tell that the war of words has now started officially. John E. Terrio will be going in against the ring against Rick Rufus, and it didn't take him long, Joe Corley, to make his way across the ring, and he made it very clear that John E. Terrio is the man that he wants next, and he'll get him on March 26th. No question about it.
Well, the war of words is obviously heated up between Jean-Yves Terrio and Rick Rufus. Now, we know that a jammed arena in Montreal will be looking for this brash American jet fighter to be shot down, while Rick Rufus himself seeks to prove to the world that there's never been another like him, the one to retire the Iceman. Now, those collisions of big kicks and heavy punches in the PKA ring on March 26 will come to you exclusively on pay-per-view, and they'll provide the best ring action you've seen in a long, long time. When we return, you're going to see what undisputed world heavyweight kickboxing champion Dennis the Terminator Alexio and the Destroyer Dick Kimber have to say about each other. And I can tell you this, there's no love lost here.
He wants to fight me?
Oh, exactly.
Sure, great. I'll knock him out. It's not a problem.
Oh, Denise, the Destroyer is coming to get you.
Dennis the Terminator Alexio is the undisputed heavyweight kickboxing champion of the world, a phenomenal athlete who picked PKA karate over professional baseball and football, and with 51 knockouts in his 56 victories, is the man who has established himself as the greatest heavyweight in the history of PKA karate. But as you'll see, he's facing a very strong challenge from an unintimidated Dick the Destroyer Kimber.
If you set out to build the ultimate kickboxing machine, he would be tall, he would be heavy, he would possess 4 deadly weapons. He is Dennis the Terminator Alexio. The prototype was unleashed on the public during the spring of 1980 and performed well above expectations, wreaking havoc and decimating the opposition. December of 1992, the Terminator headed down under to Australia. During a routine pre-fight inspection, 8 hours before the battle began, Alexio detected a soft spot in the ring.
You're going to tighten this, huh?
I don't know about the match, but they'll pump the rope.
Yeah, they're tighten the match
And looking across the
Believing the surface had been returned to normal, Dennis Alexio stepped into the ring to face Australian Stan Longinidis.
3-minute round to the gym. It's going to be interesting.
Almost as quickly as the fight began, the Terminator seemed to malfunction, crumpling to the canvas.
Oh, wait a minute. What's happened here?
I reckon he's done an Achilles.
I broke my tibia and fibula, and I suffered a compression spiral fracture, which can only be caused by weight bearing and twisting by stepping in a hole, a soft spot in the ring. The Australians over there tried to pull some shenanigans and, state that I broke my leg by blocking a kick. And They tried to, you know, pull a fast one and take one of my world titles, but it was changed immediately to a no contest because of the nature of the break and just how I broke it. You can't take 4 steps if you have a broken leg, especially if you break your tibia. I mean, I was more worried about my leg than someone trying to put a blemish on my record that wasn't warranted. I mean, the injury I suffered was a very bad one and could have been career-ending. And if anybody's going to take my title, they've got to beat me in the ring.
The fallen champion was recalled for emergency repairs. A metal rod was inserted to repair the broken leg. Alexio spent the next 9 months diligently rehabilitating the damaged weapon. It was time for a test run. The target was a prior victim, Dennis Mad Dog Downey.
I got in the ring 9 months later, which is really quick for the kind of injury I sustained. And I'm almost all the way back now.
On January 22nd of this year, Alexio went to Caesars Tahoe to meet British champion Mark Russell, where he used that reconstructed left leg like a battering ram. He also called on his right leg to drop the challenger. His left hand.
Once you've suffered an injury like that, I think that you will be surprised.
His right hand.
He's going to stay out of the way.
And finally, his left hand once again.
There's the left hand, and Russell's down again. And the overhead indicates he may not get up.
7, 8, 9.
The fight is over, and Dennis Alexio with a second-round knockout now punctuates his trip to Montreal.
Armed with a quick wit, a sharp tongue, and a sincere love for his sport, the Terminator is a true warrior for the 90s. He told us that he'd be more than ready for Kimber.
If a guy likes to dig in and throw bombs, you know, I'm comfortable with that because, you know, I'm comfortable in that atmosphere. You know, I can counter punch, I can get off, I can slip or make him miss. You know, a guy that wants to stick and move, well, I can apply the pressure. I think that's a strong point of mine, is my versatility to adapt and to engage in different types of warfare in different situations.
Yeah, Denise, keep your hands up. I'm coming at you. Say goodnight. Turkey.
Dick the Destroyer Kimber is chiseled in granite. He holds the French-based FIKB world title, is a police lieutenant for the Essex County, Massachusetts SWAT team, and has no fear of Dennis Alexio.
And I was walking down a tier, which is basically like down an area hall, where these inmates were, and I have asked one particular inmate to go back to his cell, and he refused. Well, I asked him again, and upon doing so, he went to grab me, and the other inmates charged after me, and they had what we call shanks, and the shank is a piece of metal or sharpened to a point that's used to stab or whatever. And they all came at me. I grabbed this individual and used him for a shield, and I was stuck inside a cell, and they all came at me trying to reach through. And I mean, I've been through a lot of tough situations and a lot of here situations where I never thought I was going to get out of. And even a one-on-one situations and fighting with certain inmates to really get things established and get the institution under control. Going in the ring with Dennis, that's Denise. With Denise, going in with Denise, no, he doesn't worry me a bit. A fight of this magnitude, both of us being power hitters, I don't really see it going 12 rounds. It's a matter of how well conditioned we both are and how much we can take on the chin. I believe it could end early or it could end in the mid-rounds. Our style is very similar. We're both big punchers and good kickers. We're going to mix it up very well. He's going to be there for me to counter. And it's no doubt about it, Dennis will be there to be hit. He's not one to run, and I haven't seen him run or step back, except in that last film when he broke his leg, then he started complaining. Dennis is there, so my punches are going to be great. I don't have to chase anybody to hit him. He's going to be there, he's going to come in, he's going to multiply my power. I think it's going to be a good fight. Yeah, say goodnight because it's going to be a quick fight, probably. I don't really think we're going to go the distance. We're both power punchers. He's been hit hard, but not over and over. I get combinations I put together. I put them together pretty well. I really don't think Dennis has been hit hard. March 26th, Dennis is going to get hit hard.
420 pounds of destructive kicking and punching power will meet at Ring Center as the Terminator and the Destroyer seek control of that 400-square-foot area on March 26th on pay-per-view. Now, with 67 knockouts between them, the odds are very heavy that this bout cannot go the distance. Now, when we return, you'll meet two more of my personal heroes. These are the guys with the speed, the power, the charm, and the experience to guarantee a history-making, crafty, lightweight war as New York's Vizio meets the Ghost Warrior, Juan Torres. Don't blink when you see these guys move. We know him as Vizio. He's a man who's competing in his third decade in the PKA ring, and by all appearances, he hasn't aged a day in all that time. And in the meantime, he's improved his speed and power with every passing year. Just this past November, he came back to gain another world lightweight kickboxing crown. But on March 26th on pay-per-view, he's facing the toughest challenge of his life from Juan the Ghost Warrior Torres. Now, these two gentlemen practice very little trash talk. But when they get in the ring, you'll see both of them doing a lot of talking with hands and feet.
And no, I'm a martial artist first. You know, I don't want to hit you when you're down. I did that already and it got me nowhere. So I don't want to do that again. And from what I know, Juan, he's been a gentleman, but then when I see of him, it seems something different. I'm looking at something different. What's coming out of his mouth, what's coming out of his action is something different. I'm always trying to perfect something because I'm teaching. I want to show everybody that this stuff works. You know, there's stuff for the movies and there's stuff that really works. What I fought, the fights that you see in the history or my past, I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with my this recent win neither, but I'm getting better.
Some fighters come off right into a punch. Some of them come off with a kick, waiting for the guy who
And now is Basil getting kicks off.
Beautiful technique. Did you see that jumping, spinning 360 degrees off the back leg?
Torres is a tough guy. He may bring back that street stuff from me that I don't want to bring back. You know, I just want to win, just to win and look good doing it. I don't need to, don't misunderstand. If I like kicking, obviously. If I kick, or if I spin, and your head flies off and falls in your friend's lap, fine, but I want to do it with a smile. I want to do it looking nice.
There's that spinning. Boy, that is lethal if that connects.
solid right hand shot to the body then by Vizio. Looked like Jackson's right hand missed.
I want the audience to really enjoy and appreciate what we have to offer more than looking at the vicious part of it. The other two guys on that card are going to see a vicious part. You're going to see some animals come out, mean stuff. It's going to be a good fight. And, you know, like I said, if I hit him, if he goes, he goes. I got to get that KO record up a little bit more. I got 27 KOs. I need a little bit more. But because of the kind of guy I'm in and the kind of guy he is, maybe it's going to be a nice, classy, beautiful fight that's going to be down in history. But I just don't want it to be the fight of the year. I want to be the fighter of the year. Not that's the fight of the year.
Well, after spending a full day in the gym with Vizio recently in New York, I'm convinced that he's both mentally and physically prepared for this challenge from Torres. And what a challenge it promises to be. Take a glimpse at how the Ghost Warrior looked in January as he met George Angut in a rubber match.
Well, there's been no love lost between them, with one victory for each man, one in '89 for Angut, one in '91 for Torres. They've both said that they have to settle the score.
And very quickly, Juan Torres opens up with a knockdown.
He came out real hard, and Torres caught him with a straight left punch, and Angut went down.
Good combination thrown by Torres, and he followed it up, and there's a right hand. And George is down.
His legs did not immediately come back under him, Jean-Yves, and he lost 25 pounds over 9 weeks in preparation for this fight.
Absolutely, and you can see that Torres is very intent in finishing this fight very early.
Juan Torres has fought here in Lake Tahoe 5 times, is undefeated and down for the 4th time. Goes Angut near the end of round 1.
5. That was a terrific combination of 4 punches. Got him right in the head.
9. The right round kick comes right onto Angut's chin. Look at the determination on Torres' face. The left jab, Jean-Yves, right on the target.
I'm wondering if that right roundhouse kick had some kind of an effect. Here we see the second knockdown. Again, a real beautiful right cross right in the chin.
Textbook right hand. And you see Torres then, his mind feels clear, but when he gets his legs up under him, they're not there. You see he's starting to clear those eyes.
I think that Angut is a little bit intimidated at this point. He's not firing back as much as he should.
And down he goes for the 5th time in the fight.
5, 6.
This fight's not going to the limits, guys.
8,
9, 10.
Had too much of a fight in front of him. I think he never would have withstood the barrage that Torres was going to catch him with. And Torres deserves a very, very, very big round of applause for a nicely fought fight.
And another championship belt will be won by this man, Juan Torres, #1 in the PKC, and he gets the victory. A second-round knockout win over George Engel.
I always look forward to a 12 hard-round fight, if not a war. Mr. Paul Vicious is a heck of a tough fighter. You know, he's been around the ring way before I even thought of becoming a kickboxer. And I'm going to do the best I can to bring my world title back with me.
Well, there you have it. The full spectrum of 6 of the most lethal men who walked the planet. The dangerously polite, quick, and versatile aura of Vizio and Juan Torres, the spectacular knockout power and intimidation skills of the Terminator Alexio and the Destroyer Kimber, and capped by the phenomenal 8-year showdown between the Jet and the Iceman. Now, these 6 phenomenal champions and their 3 world title bouts come to you exclusively from SET pay-per-view on Saturday night, March 26. I'm Joe Corley, and my advice is to make your plans now and join us for PKA Karate Mania 8. It'll be the brawl in Montreal.